Greetings, everybody, and welcome. This is Mari Smith coming to you live from sunny San Diego. We have a massive global audience with us here today. People from all over. I was just checking before we went live. Got people from Denmark, Australia, Croatia, India, the Philippines, Scotland. It is an amazing, amazing opportunity and honor, in fact, to be here with you today. Thank you for clearing your calendar and being with me. If you are hearing me for the first time, my accent is Scottish and Canadian. And a quick background, I am a passionate social media leader. Fast Company dubbed me the Pied Piper of the online world. Forbes and Dun & Bradstreet Credibility have named me one of their top 10 social media influencers in the world. And the thing is, though, what I love more than anything is this right here. Being with you, my community. I absolutely love you, and it is time for us to get cracking. The hashtag for today, unless you haven't noticed, it is pound Facebook 2012. You're more than welcome to use the Twitter and the Facebook chat to the right of this video stream. That's pound Facebook 2012. In fact, I think it might even append there for you. Also, live in the studio with me here today is my dear assistant, Lori. Say hi, Lori.
Hi. Thanks, Mari.
Lori is, her AKA title is actually Director of Customer Happiness, and she lives up to that title. She's actually going to be moderating and assisting with some questions. We'll take your Q&A at the end, and she's also going to be sharing quite a few Facebook examples from her computer screen, so I can stay here focused right here with you. We've got a lot to cover. Well, today is all about Facebook 2012. I've got several components I'm going to share with you. And get ready to take some notes. You can tweet up a storm, like I say. I'm going to cover the 5 keys to creating consistent visibility, engagement, and growth. Then we'll go into the 3 action steps that I really feel that you must include in your daily social media schedule for best results. And the #1 mistake that chases fans away that many, many businesses are making on their Facebook fan pages. Plus, I am going to be sharing with you details of my brand new groundbreaking course. I'm so excited about it. It's called Extreme Fan Base Growth, 21 insanely effective ways to expand your Facebook impact. And coming a little bit later, I'm going to have a fantastic special for you, so stick around for that. I've got some surprises and some Q&A. Fasten your seatbelt for the next hour. Here we go. Like I say, Facebook 2012. Well, I've been really, really looking forward to this webinar here with you today, and also this year. 2012 is a landmark year. Social media is changing. It's becoming more mature. Would you agree? And consumers, see, we're business people, but we're also marketers, and we're also consumers. And I really think that more and more we are becoming savvier and savvier. We want businesses and brands to be more transparent. Facebook, of course, is changing rapidly. And hands up, who here's on Google+? Did you join Google+ last summer or at some point last year? I really like Google+. I think actually Google+ and Facebook both fulfill different needs, not necessarily competing in the same place. But Facebook definitely got quite a bit more competitive and rapidly introduced a whole bunch of changes last year. We'll go into some of those in our time here today. So the thing is that the old tactics that you were using last year or 2 years or 3 years ago in social media is not really going to work in the social era. Social media is now social business, and which translates into social commerce. Social business is really when the whole entire company embraces social relationships. And some great examples, one of my favorites you're probably all familiar with, is Zappos, the online shoe and apparel store. You also have IBM. Just the other day I was reading a report about IBM. They're an awesome social business. So we'll talk about that today too, social commerce. Hands up, who saw the CNBC show last night with Mark Zuckerberg? Awesome documentary. A friend of mine texted me real quick. Shout out to Carol, thanks for that. And I was really, I just love Mark Zuckerberg. I always have. I got onto Facebook in 2007. It was a great documentary last night, talking about how many of you know, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, he turned down $1 billion and then $15 billion, and now the company is worth quite possibly $100 billion. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's mission is to encourage us, the whole world, to be more open and connected. And people are definitely spending more and more time on that show I saw last night. Some people in the UK were being interviewed. They're talking about being on Facebook for 3 and 4 hours a day. It's amazing. And what is really, really interesting and making quite a bit of news right now with Facebook is this whole new breed of apps. There's actually, they're calling them frictionless sharing. Now, I don't know about you guys, I'm a little bit apprehensive about them. What happens is when you choose to engage with this app, you give it permission to access your Facebook, then the frictionless idea is that you never have to decide, okay, I think I want to interact with that app again, or I want to share what's going on onto my Facebook. It just automatically does it for you. So what's happening is that we're actually sharing where we shop, where we eat, our favorite sports, TV, music, travel, hotels, news. Something that's really blowing up right now on the internet and on Facebook, many of you might be on it already, is called Pinterest. Some people have difficulty pronouncing that. It's not Pinterest, it's Pinterest. It's a really cool concept where it's like these cork boards. If you literally had like a board and you were cutting things out of a magazine. It's really popular with the bridal and the fashion, the arts, and where you cut things out and you pin them on a board. Of course, with the internet, it's one click and you've pinned it. Now, with this frictionless sharing integration with Facebook, every friend you make on Pinterest and every piece of content that you pin on your pin board is going over onto Facebook as well. So that's a kind of a neat site, and I'm always thinking about things from a business and a marketing standpoint. So I think that Pinterest is definitely a site to keep an eye on, whether you choose to enable the Facebook aspect or not. Some other apps, TripAdvisor, and it's actually pulling in data that it's a wonderful site where regular people go and give their feedback on different trips and travel, etc. And then what Facebook can do is pull that data and customize it and serve up different information for you, or the site can. Hulu, you might be familiar with, HULU.com. Hulu.com, where you can go and watch movies and TV shows and seamlessly, frictionlessly, as Facebook calls it, share that information right onto your Facebook newsfeed with your friends. Food Spotting's another, The Guardian. Now, again, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of many of you here today, I'm a little bit resistant to choosing to enable some of these news apps, for example. I might want to read a news story and get the gist of it without letting all of my Facebook community know about it first. So the thing is, it's happening with these frictionless apps. Facebook's actually able to provide much, much more accurate recommendations. And of course, ads. See, social ads and sponsored stories are actually one of Facebook's massive sources of revenue, one of the biggest sources of revenues. As a business person, you can actually gain access to a lot of that data, and it's anonymized. You're not going to find the exact person, but you can select demographics and hyper-target and get highly, highly accurate. So let's just pick an example. Let's say you wanted to, I mentioned bridal with Pinterest. So let's say you're in the wedding business and you've got, you want to place an ad to target, let's say, women aged 19 to 29, maybe they're engaged to be married, live in the greater Los Angeles area, and they love Lady Gaga, I don't know. You could literally target right down, fine-tune to the interest. And in fact, what's coming too, and you're seeing it more and more, have you noticed that real time this targeting is happening with the ads? You might update your status about specific Lady Gaga, and all of a sudden something comes up. I must have her in my mind right now. So really, you want to be poised for social purchasing. Again, you have to kind of wear these two hats. This is what I do all the time. What I really love about teaching Facebook mastery to businesses is that I'm like you. I'm a member, a consumer, a user of Facebook. We all are. But in addition, those of you here with me today, we are also business people. We're looking at things from a business standpoint. So poise for social purchasing. When we like something, liking is literally a form of public endorsement. It's giving it the thumbs up. That's the little icon. On Google+, it's the +1 button. Twitter, it's obviously the tweet or retweet button. And so you're essentially saying to your whole entire online community, yes, 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up. I absolutely give this my wholehearted endorsement. And of course, that's tremendous information for word of mouth marketing social media, in fact, my friend Gary Vaynerchuk calls social media word of mouth marketing on steroids. So of course Facebook is the #1 social network. What I love, and I get so excited about, I mean, it's really all of social networking, isn't it? All these different sites together, but obviously Facebook's leading the way. It's creating massive, massive shifts, creating a fundamental change in how we function on the planet and how we do business. It's helping us to have this massive quantum leap in how we are interacting, changing up things, and doing business. Tomorrow, February 1st, you probably know that Facebook are apparently going to be making an announcement for their initial public offering, and it's the IPO has been talked about for a very long time, and it is coming. And you might not know this, February 29th, at the end of next month, Facebook's hosting their first ever invite-only Facebook marketing conference, and a lot of dignitaries and marketing experts and Facebook gurus that will be at that event. And it is rumored, you heard it here first, that Facebook is going to be introducing and announcing timeline for pages. Now, you're like, oh my God, no, please no. Timeline for your profile, you're still just getting used to it with the big cover and the split wall, and I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not going back in time to add baby photos of myself and my first word or my first kiss or whatever Mark Zuckerberg wants us to put on there. But the thing is that adding timeline to fan pages could very well be a massive upgrade in a really, really cool style. Nice design, especially with a big cover. We'll see. So it could be announced in about another month's time. That doesn't mean to say that for sure they'll instantly morph. It will definitely just be an announcement. Now, Facebook actually has, probably know this, 800 million active users. They are predicted to be at 1 billion members in August of this year. That's going to be a landmark day. My birthday's in August. I think I'll have a big party. Now, of those 800 million users, 50%, half of them log on every single day for almost an hour a day. It's 55 minutes a day. Sheryl Sandberg, the COO, Chief Operating Officer of Facebook, she said very recently, a major conference, social media can play a major role in jump-starting the global economy. In fact, she said that the app economy alone, the Facebook app economy alone, generated 200,000 jobs in the United States. I totally agree with Sheryl. I think that social media can jump-start the global economy. We're living in unprecedented times. I'm probably preaching to the choir to many of you here today, but here's the thing. There is no middleman. The playing field is leveled. Everybody has an opportunity to build their own platform and grow their own business. However, a little caveat for you, and that's what I'm talking to you today. It is a bit of a free-for-all. It's a big free-for-all. It's very, very noisy out there. And how do you stand out? How do you reach your target market without wasting a lot of time sitting in front of your computer for hours on end and chatting and friending and liking, etc. Plus, you know what? Fear actually stops a lot of people. Fear of making a mistake, fear of being exposed, of having your privacy invaded, things like that. And guess what? Did you know the #1 fear that stops businesses from building a presence, a really significant presence on Facebook, and it is fear of negative comments. Can you believe that? Like, businesses will not even set up a fan page. They're like, oh my God, what if we get negative comments? Quick sidebar on that. My personal opinion is when you get a negative comment out in public, that is a golden opportunity to demonstrate stellar customer service right out in the open. Turn the situation around, act promptly, and you could very well end up having a customer for life and having many, many people observe the wonderful attention that you gave the situation. So I say negative comments, no. Build up a nice positive culture. From time to time you'll get negative comments, but deal with it in the moment, promptly, courteously, give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, I'm going to be getting to those 5 keys. First, I do need to cover a very important topic, and that's called the Newsfeed. I personally think that the Newsfeed is one of the most amazing and brilliant inventions, certainly is when it comes to Facebook. Now, something you may not realize, every single person, when they go to facebook.com and they're logged in and they're going to their, well, not their profile, but they're going to their first place that they log into, okay? And that's called the homepage. That's your Newsfeed. Every single one of those 800 million plus users, that Newsfeed is uniquely different because Facebook is deciding on your behalf what you get to see. Different on Twitter. Could you imagine if Twitter did that? You're only seeing, only so many tweets. Or Google Plus, they're unfiltered. Facebook filters. There's a reason for it though, see, because there's only so much space. It only moves at a certain pace. But Facebook were very clever and they came up with this new solution called Ticker. You know, that real fast-moving river of information that goes by up at the top right of your homepage, and you might have it attached to your chat bar too, and then it's like just going by every page you go on. Now the thing is that what happens with that newsfeed, the more you interact with a friend, the more you'll see their content in your newsfeed. Same thing goes with fan pages. The more a fan interacts with your content and your page, comes and writes in your wall, etc., the more they will see your content in their newsfeed. We're going to go quite deep into this topic today. It's really, really important. The big Facebook change in regards to fan pages and fans interacting with it, Facebook removed the need to first like a page. Visitors can interact with that fan page whether they click the like button or not. I think it's kind of like there's pros and cons. Number one, awesome. There's no barrier to resistance whatsoever. People can just come right in your wall, they can click, like and comment and share any of your posts, whether they click the like button and become a fan or not. There could be, therefore, less incentive to like that button. So there are some really, really amazing tips that you can do, some techniques that you can encourage visitors to become fans with what's called a fan-gated like page. The thing is, you must build that fan base. It's critical to build an extremely consistently growing, decent-sized fan base. We'll go into that today. Why? Well, because, get this, in the newsfeed visibility with fan pages, when a fan clicks the like button on your fan page and become a fan, studies are showing that 96%, as many as 96% of fans, they never come back to your fan page. So they're only seeing and interacting with your content in their newsfeed. This might not be news to you, but today I'm going to help you with some ideas of how you can boost that number significantly, or boost the visibility number, and get creative and get more visibility. I actually noticed that Facebook's giving less visibility to pages. Anybody else notice this? Like page content, I'm not seeing as much page content in my newsfeed since the ticker and the timeline. And so really what happens when you get consistent newsfeed visibility as a fan page, growth will come, really, really will come. Just a quick explanation before we dive into the tips. The edge rank, you probably heard that term. What is it that's causing Facebook to, or not causing them, but how is Facebook filtering all that content? For my fellow geeks in the house here, I'm a chic geek, the edge rank has 3 components, and that's affinity, that's your relationship to the person or the page and the piece of content. Weight, Facebook assigns points to each type of post. And then what's called time decay. It's not a very attractive phrase, but time decay simply means recency, how long ago the post was made. And so each Facebook post actually has a life cycle. I have a really cool graphic. Lori's going to have it on her screen shortly and show you that coming up shortly. So each post has a life cycle. Now, are you ready? Here we go. 5 keys. 5 keys for creating guaranteed, consistent visibility, engagement, and growth. Number 1, and some of these you'll go, oh, of course, it's so obvious. However, I'm going to give you much more expanded information for each one. Number 1 is share relevant content, okay? Consistent visibility, engagement, growth, share relevant content. Guess what? The number 1 reason that fans are hiding your content in their newsfeed, remember we just talked about newsfeed and edge rank and filtering, so let's say they do see your post in their newsfeed and they're going, oh, they can hover over and click the little arrow on the right side and they can choose to hide your posts. They're pretty much as good as a non-fan. And the number 1 reason they hide is because you're posting too often. And I got a tip coming up about frequency. Well, how often is too often and how much is ideal? The number 2 reason that people hide your posts, your fans hide your posts in their newsfeed, is your content is not relevant. Uh-oh. Thing is, you've got to experiment. You've got to find your own sweet spot. There's so many experts and gurus out there and everybody's telling you, no, do it this way, do it this way, and do it this way. But the truth is, what works for someone else might not work for you, and you've got to find your own, what I call, sweet spot. Let's go to an example. Lori's going to pull up for you. This is my friend. I think JB's tuning in today. A shout out to JB. Morning Coach. He's at facebook.com, Morning Coach 22. You got that up, Lori? How many fans does JB have?
Yes, Mari, we have it right here. And he has 32,500 fans.
32,500 fans. And how many talking about this? People talking about this. How many does he have there?
13,200 are talking about it.
Absolutely amazing. What JB's done, he's actually hit the jackpot with his friends. He is averaging, his fans, because they're friends. And on his fan page, he's averaging an engagement rate, call it ER, engagement rate, of about 4%. Now, you probably don't know this. And I was talking to JB and I was saying, did you realize that you have absolutely got a massive engagement rate? The average, even for major brands, is only 2%. What you do, basically, you take the people talking about this and the total number of fans, and you can figure out the rate. Now, PATP, people talking about this, is basically changes every week, okay? So that basically means that JB's fans at the Morning Coach, 4% of his total fans are liking, commenting, sharing, tagging his page, writing on his wall, and then that makes up what I call the PTAP, the people talking about this. It's a confusing number of his Facebook. It has basically said, let's go ahead and put this public-facing stat. And I think a lot of page owners were all of a sudden, whoa, what is this? I don't want to expose this number. I want to kind of keep this private. It's again, kind of one of those areas of Facebook that has pros and cons, because as a marketer, as a business person, you can go along and look at other pages and, a small business, large business, and get ideas and see what their rates are at. But it is very revealing to me that pages even that have millions of fans are still only getting engagement rates of maybe about 1%. 2% is about average. Now, on this topic of relevant content, and in fact, I'm going to be coming back to that, people talking about this. We've got some more information on that for you. I love the acronym KISS, K-I-S-S. To me, that's keep it short and simple. Keep it short and simple. However, you'll see in a minute. Buddy Media, shout out to Buddy Media. Actually, they were on that CNBC show last night. They did a study and they discovered that status updates on fan pages that are less than 80 characters, 80 characters or less, get an average of 27% higher engagement rate. Absolutely amazing. In fact, we have another example, Lori. Can you go ahead and show everybody Disney's Facebook page?
Yes, I've got Disney up now.
Awesome. Let's say, what's a good example of a status update?
They have a lot of nice short ones. There's a cute one here that says, give it everything you've got and you'll end up a winner.
That is awesome. Give it everything you got and you'll end up a winner. You know what? That's perfect for today. I think I'd agree with that, Lori, right?
Yes.
And how many fans does Disney have?
This is amazing. They have 31,500,000 fans.
Over 31 million. That's incredible. Disney is actually one of my favorite Facebook fan pages. They have a great engagement. They have a wonderful way of presenting content. Remember, this is all under tip number 1, content. You've got to be able to mix it up. Shorter is better, sure, and you can study Disney's page and see that it's definitely working for them. The thing is, this whole character count is amazing, that how Facebook over the years, initially it was 420 character limit, okay, obviously it's bigger than Twitter's 140, then went up to 500, and then 5,000. Not long ago it jumped up to 5,000, and then when Google Plus came along and you know, a little healthy competition, the status update limit is now a whopping 63,000 characters. You could actually do about 9 Facebook posts and write a little novel. Google Plus is about 100,000 character limit. Remember EdgeRank? We just talked about EdgeRank and the 3 factors. So weight comes into it. In terms of content and relevant content, as we saw from JB's page, and you can take a look at the Disney page and many other examples, that photos and videos tend to perform just a little bit better, but you don't only want to do those. I like to mix it up. I'm going to keep on sharing lots and lots of tips for you and helping you to show different ways of how you can get consistent visibility, engagement, and absolutely hit the sweet spot in the jackpot like my friend JB has done. It's a very, very comprehensive topic. We do have limited time. We've got a full hour here today, but there's only so much I can pack into it. I'm trying not to talk too fast, and I know I got my Scottish-Canadian accent, and you're trying to figure out what I'm saying, but pacing myself here because I lead so many webinars and I get really enthusiastic and passionate, and I want to share as much as I can in our time together. I will. Remember, I'm going to be teaching a course, in fact, coming out. We're starting on Valentine's Day, and it's called Extreme Fan-Based Growth. Extreme Fan-Based Growth. We'll dig very, very deep in great, great detail in this whole topic of getting maximum visibility, which leads to engagement and which leads to growth in sales and profit. So coming up shortly. Here's tip number 2, okay, for getting that engagement, growth, and visibility. You want to test your own frequency of posts. Remember I said that number 1 reason for hiding posts is posting too often? Well, get this. Dan Zarella, he calls himself a social media scientist, Dan Zarella, awesome guy. He did a study that showed your ideal posting frequency, get this, half a time a day. Hello? That means once every other day. Well, I don't know about you, but if a fan page is posting once every other day, I'm not really going to be paying a whole lot of attention. And then HubSpot came along. Actually, Dan works with HubSpot. But HubSpot came along not that long ago, and I think they did the test specifically when the timeline came out. And they actually found that you could post once an hour. Well, that's a massive difference from every other day to once an hour. You've got to test and track. I know for me, on my fan page, I have over 60,000. My sweet spot is around 2 to 3 times a day. I really feel if I bump that up to every hour, I'm going to have more and more people would go, whoa, that's too much, Mari, and they'd unlike the page or they'd hide it. So again, you've got to find your ideal frequency. There is a natural life cycle for each post. It's quite fascinating. The activity tends to taper off about 50 minutes. So from the moment you hit that post button on your fan page, you're putting out a new piece of content, about 50 minutes, 50, it's just under an hour. You can easily extend that up to over 20 hours and get that engagement up and going with a lot of these different techniques that I'm sharing with you today, and it's also my course I'll be sharing you with. We've got a quick example for here. Laura, you got that Visibly study for us.
Yes, I have it right here, Mari.
Fantastic. It's a beautiful graphic. I love this because it's like a little clock. So the Visibly study shows that 50% of all the likes on your piece of content, and this is average, you're going to get within the first hour. Okay, so half the likes come in the first hour. The next 20 minutes, you'll get about 70%, and then within, reading that right, first hour, 20 minutes, and then 70% within 4 hours, and then 95% of all your likes is going to come within 22 hours. So you just won't see how you can't really afford to be posting every other day. So I actually love to find what I call high traffic windows. There are certain high traffic windows that many, many businesses are missing out on massive visibility and engagement because guess what? They're doing 2 things that's causing them to miss out. Number 1, they stick to office hours. They're posting between 9 to 5 in their time zone. And number 2, they haven't dug deep into their insights and looked at the fan demographics and looked to see, well, where's the bulk of their fans and what kind of time zones they're in. This is a fascinating fact. In the United States, let me just get this, I'm going off the top of my head right now. Yep, it's 80% of Americans, of people in the United States, live in the Central and Eastern time zones. Well, I live in Pacific, so I'm 3 hours behind Eastern. And I typically, before, I would start posting maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. Well, that's already 11 or 12 Eastern. So back it up a bit and experiment. Post earlier in the day, post later in the day. Test weekends, Thursdays and Fridays. So think outside the box and find out really when is your market, because it could vary, when is your market on Facebook most? I had a question the other day there, someone asked me about, they were targeting college students and they're like, when should I be posting? I'm thinking, well, probably pretty late at night, right? Through the night, no. And you want to check your metrics and see what's working. You can easily see if you're posting too often. I've got a little secret metric for you to check. That's coming up in our little 3-part tips in a moment. Moving on, tip number 3 of 5. You want to focus on engagement, okay? Engagement is the name of the game. And that's why Facebook introduced that public-facing people talking about this. They want us all to see, okay, how many people are talking about this brand or this business. This is another shocking statistic coming up for you. This particular one is shocking anyway. A study was done, and it shows that brands are only responding to 50%, half of fan posts. I really think that businesses are leaving business on the table, potential sales on the table, or the page, the fan page, because they're not responding to 100%, or at least striving for 80, 90%. And of course, I totally understand. It absolutely is serious, takes a lot of time and resources and money. You've got to train staff, you've got time. You don't have time to personally sit there responding to a lot of your fans. I just recently put a whole system in place for my own fan page. I'll share with you a little bit more about that. We have an infographic, that very study. Lori, what I have up there is a study by Mr. Youth on Simply Zesty, right?
Yes, we do. We got it right here.
Fantastic, yeah. They actually did that around the holidays. It's a really cute little snowman infographic, beautifully done. And so, like I say, half the brands are not responding to their posts, but, and this is, you prick your ears up right now and listen in, if you weren't before. Of the fans that got, so half the fans are getting responses from businesses, a whopping 80% of them, 80, went on to make a purchase as a result of that interaction. See, I think this is where, for me, social media meets that fundamental human need to be heard, to be known that somebody's listening, to be validated and acknowledged. And even earlier when I was talking about negative feedback, people will diffuse their negativity and their frustration and their, whatever's going on, if they've got a gripe with a company, if they just are acknowledged and heard. So there's a huge source of potential business right there when you're able to put systems in place to respond faster. Speaking of which, response time. I actually frequently survey my own fans on my fan page. And I ask them, whether a small business or a major brand, what is your expectation of response time? And always they're like, oh, faster is better. It's usually about 1 hour. 1 hour. Fans are expecting response within 1 hour. If they post this, they'll often take the same question and they'll post it on several different pages, and whichever fan page responds first wins. I just think that's not fair. When I say wins, I mean wins the business or potentially wins that customer or prospect or fan to keep coming back. They'll tell their fans about it. Oh my God, you've seen this fan page, they're responding really fast. Now the thing is, you're busy running your business and it takes extra time and money to invest in moderators, and so what do? The thing is that there's many effective and affordable ideas that I can share with you. You could set up what I've actually recently done, and this was, I can't believe it took me so long to figure this out, but I'll tell you why. I do know why. One of the things I'm really passionate about is never ever delegating my voice. Nobody ever gets to speak as me, and I just think if you can adopt that too, that it'll serve you very well. What I did, because I was having this growing problem on my fan page, I wasn't able to serve and respond. I certainly wasn't able to give a 1 hour response time to my fans answering or asking questions about Facebook on my fan page. So what I did recently is I set up a separate community page. Now see, Facebook recently made another change. You can set up what's called a community page, and when you go in there and you'll see, and it actually says, is this a main page? What is this page tied to? So Team Mari is actually functions as the moderator of my main page, and I have 3 team members who respond to posts. So Lori in the studio with me here today, and we've got Susan, and who's in Ohio today, a shout out, and Juan in the Netherlands. And they're doing an amazing job, and everybody always signs off with their first name. And in fact, I put this whole checklisted system. It took me ages to work this out and to finally figure it out, that I don't have to personally always be the one responding, and yet I'm getting that massive spike recently, a massive spike in engagement rate and fans and response, and just the whole level of participation and excitement has gone up dramatically on my fan page. I have a whole system, like I say, I'm not able to go into it fully right this second, but I have definitely included the entire step-by-step process as a free bonus gift in my Extreme Fan Base Growth coming up shortly. Stay tuned. Here we go. Tip number 4. Focus on consistent, proactive growth. I'm going to say that again, it's so important. You must have it in mind as a goal and have systems and checklists and proven formulas in place that help you to consistently, proactively grow. Because, circle back to some of those fan pages that have millions or even tens of thousands of fans, only so many of those fans are seeing the content in the newsfeed. Remember that? So what happens is the older the fan page and even the bigger the fan page, in fact, less people are seeing the content. You've got to be really proactive. You could have 10,000 fans on your fan page, but maybe only 200 of those fans are seeing your content in your newsfeed, their newsfeed. Facebook's really moving more, you're probably feeling this yourself, to a pay-to-play model. and that you really need to work a little bit longer to keep your fans engaged. And if you want to bring fans on back, you got to buy ads. It doesn't seem fair, does it? I know, but it's just very interesting to me. You spent ages building up this fan page, and now you have to go buy ads to get the same fans to see the content on your fan page. But there's a really cool trick. See, I'm Scottish and I'm frugal, and I've got a lot of really, really affordable and inexpensive and free, in fact, techniques that work, and how to keep your fans engaged and entertained even. We have this whole phrase called edutainment, entertainment and education. Lots and lots of creative free ways that you can consistently grow your fan page. Some ideas for you. Check 2 places for where to expand your reach. Number 1, where are your other marketing channels? You might have another social channel: Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, YouTube, Friendster, Pinterest, all these other places. You might have another channel, your own blog subscribers, your email list, etc. I'll come back to that in a second. The second place, so your other marketing channels, and then where. If you have a local business, if you have a physical establishment, think about, this always fascinates me. Think about where the eyeballs of your prospects are falling. Where might they be going? So if you have a local business and a restaurant, people are going to look at a menu. It never ceases to amaze me how many restaurants and cafes or whatever, coffee shops, they don't put their social. Come and chat to us on Facebook right there in the menu. Put it on your window, signage, decals on your window, walls, cash register, right on your products, in fact. Shout out to Corona Tools. In fact, I was leading a webinar I think a year or 2 ago, in fact, and they wrote to me and told me that they took me up on this tip, and they started to put their Facebook and their Twitter on their packaging for their tools. I've seen it on candy bars and things like that. Also, think mobile marketing. Take advantage of check-ins and SMS, short message service, as texting, and how your local, every single person, we're still talking about the subject of local businesses, okay? If you have a physical local store, that every person that walks into your store or is even in the vicinity of your store, they can pick you up on their little GPS and they have a smartphone in their hand, they're a hot prospect for you. Even if you have an internet-based business, you've got tons and tons of ways that you can draw people in to get more fans. Hopefully you're getting great value. We've got, about 18 more minutes to share. I've got lots and lots of value here for you. I mentioned I also have a groundbreaking new course coming out called Extreme Fan Base Growth. It's absolutely packed with 21 of these actionable ideas. My newest and best strategies that you can use to add 5,000 genuine fans, not just throwaway likes, but real fans who are prospects to do business with you, to your fan base in 30 days or less, in fact. That whole system, if you're enjoying this format, it's this live webinar training, it's video training, it's an 8-part webinar training. Remember, we've got more tips coming up. Stay right where you are. And it's actually going to be starting on Valentine's Day, February 14th, the day of love. I picked it on purpose because you want to build a fan base of people who absolutely love you, not just like you, but love you. You can learn all about it. You're welcome to hop over to extremefanbasegrowth.com. I actually have an incredible special. I'll go into a little bit more detail at the end, and we're going to take your questions too, and we've got more tips. But I actually do have, I just wanted to give a quick shout out, a 60% special, 60% off for the webinar attendees only, and I also have an amazing bonus for the first 101 people and a social critique, where I can actually going to look at your fan page and your Facebook profile and all your different activity on Facebook and give you some specific feedback. So it's an opportunity to win that and a surprise bonus. Everyone on the webinar, stay tuned. All right, coming right back to that. Here we go. Tip number 5. Tip number 5, and remember we're talking specifically about how to create consistent engagement, visibility, and growth, proactive growth. If you keep doing the same old things, you become stagnant, the same old. You really have to get together with your team. Now, even if you're a small business, a solopreneur, if you're obviously a large business, you've got a team. Get together and brainstorm. What are some ideas? Remember I just mentioned edutain, that's education, and educate and entertain. You want quality content plus fun, a little bit of playfulness and fun, and make people laugh or cry, and they will come on back. Laugh or cry or smile or go wow, and they will come back definitely. Plus, because of that share button, and I love now that we have that share and it has the public facing count, that really creates amazing viral visibility. Remember my friend JB, a lot of shares. And I experimented the other day. I actually took one of JB's posts and I put it on my own profile, and I got, I don't know, almost 200 shares. I'm going to show you a quick example here, something you can do super easy yourself. It's a simple fill in the blank. In fact, this was a post I made on New Year's Eve. Lori, you want to show that status update?
Yep, we've got your page up, Mari.
Quick sip of water here. Real simple. Now, think about this. The brain wants to fill in a blank. A dream come true for me in 2012 would be, and then I told them, fill in the blank. That got a massive engagement rate, really one of my highest engagement rates. And it was off topic for me, see? It's okay to go off topic. I typically always post about Facebook marketing, and I'll put social media marketing, online marketing, things like that. However, that particular post obviously was very, very timely, it was relevant, and the brain responds to that blank. Now, what can you put on your timeline? I am so excited about subscribe. This is a whole other conversation. I wish we had time to go into it today. But the subscribe button, what that does is it allows people anybody on Facebook to see content you share publicly on your profile, your personal profile, otherwise known as a timeline. And I've actually taken me 4 years to grow 60,000 fans, and now what I know now, I could do that a lot shorter. But only 4 months, I have, last I looked, I think it's 125,000 subscribers. So I'm really loving experimenting with the content. Lori, you got my photos up there, my wall photos and my timeline.
We've got your wall photos here.
Awesome, awesome. So, you know, I just love the freedom to be able to experiment with all kinds of fun, spiritual or inspirational or humorous content on my timeline, aka personal profile, right? Now I got almost 5,000 friends and 125,000 subscribers. And see, I'm going to share a secret little trick with you here, or not trick, but just a strategic way of being, an approach. I'm always strategic. And so when I'm making my posts, I'm thinking about building the value and having people engaged with me, which is very, very passionate and real about. And then at some point I'll drop in a little status update. Oh, check out my fan page. Wonderful way to grow your fans too. Thing is, with that share button, you get a lot of shares. The more subscribers you have, the more shares you get, the more visibility. Share is to Facebook as retweet is to Twitter. And the share is public facing. You can really, really see that impact. So I believe, and this is exciting, I have a whole module in it on my Extreme Fan Base Growth course, because don't get confused that just because it's fan based, that's only a fan page. To me, subscribers on Facebook is a whole other new marketing channel and an integral part of Facebook marketing. The subscribe button, it came out actually in September 2011. I really think that it's important to have both fan pages and you can have multiple fan pages. Don't want to go too much in depth into that, but it's really important to have both, whether you're a public figure or you're anyone. I'm saying anyone, but at first we thought, okay, this is, you have to be like a journalist, public figure, a celebrity. But what really, really opened my eyes when I saw almost every member of Facebook staff, all the Facebook staffers have got their subscribe turned on. You don't have to have it, by the way. It really creates that amazing viral visibility. It's a personal choice. You can use friend lists and secret groups. A lot of people are shifting their profile to their page, or you can also choose to have your page morphed into your profile. Some people are doing that. It's not publicly available yet, but I've seen a lot of people do that. Like I say, it's a whole new marketing channel. The thing is, guess what? When you have an active timeline and an active fan page, you now have doubled your chances of being seen in the newsfeed. The good news with a fan page, don't abandon your fan page. You must have a fan page, it's critical. You're going to add custom apps, you can get metrics, you can place ads, and all the content is indexed on Google. Plus, guess what's coming? You might be hearing it here first for the first time. One-on-one emails. That's right, you can actually send private one-on-one emails to your fan base. I think they're just rolling it out right now in Asia. And I teach that whole entire process of how to maximize those two powerful marketing channels in my Extreme Fan Base Growth course coming up. More on that in a minute. And here we go. I'm going to just wrap this up in a minute. We've got 3 daily action steps that you must include and that is checking your, number one, remember we're talking about how you must include these in your daily action steps. Check your hidden posts. Did you know on Facebook that you have a place where Facebook has determined whether some of your posts might be spam? Lori, can you show them where that hidden post is hiding?
Yes, Mario, we have your fan page up, and we see your wall, and then under the wall it says hidden posts.
Right, and you're logged in now. I have Lori as an admin on my page. So you have to, only admins can see that. See, that it's confusing because the way that you see your page is not how an admin or the owner or the creator of the page. I think that's actually one of the most overlooked places. You could have gold in there. You want to be checking that several times a day. Basically means Facebook's decided it could be spam. A lot of times links or at tags, tons of bona fide posts get hidden in there. You could actually be ignoring some prospects. Remember those businesses that are only responding to half their fans' posts? It could be because the other half are hidden. Well, not quite half, but maybe 10% are hidden. But in any case, definitely check that. Check your hidden posts. Number two, remember we're talking about response time. These are daily action steps. Ideally an hour. Remember I said the expectation is an hour? Oh my gosh. Longer, you'll get away with longer if you have what I call a forgiving culture. I'm very, very blessed on my fan page to have a forgiving culture. They'll keep coming back. Often if I didn't answer a question, they'll post it again. But now we've got a new system in place to handle that. And then 80% of those fans that get a response go on to make a purchase, according to that amazing, amazing study we saw earlier. If you run out of bandwidth to manage your whole fan page, I've got solutions coming. Remember I said stay tuned. Number three, daily action step in your social media schedule. Check your metrics. Now, the thing with Facebook Insights and metrics, they're pretty confusing. There's a lot going on there. It's like every time you turn around, they've changed the semantics, and it used to be this, and now it's that. You can't just guess, though. You've got to just really look and see which posts are performing the best. And I think that other than that hidden post, when it comes to metrics, the number one most overlooked piece of data is what's called negative feedback. Previously used to be called unsubscribe, but then they changed that because they didn't want to get mixed up with the subscribe button. Lori, can you show us in the metrics? There's a secret hidden place of where that negative feedback is.
Yes, Maria. We have your Insights page up, and we see under the engaged users.
Engaged users.
If I click on that, then this box pops up, and it'll tell you how many people gave you negative feedback in that pop-up box.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like one of those things that you didn't know. So under your metrics, that Insights, again, you only see this if you're an admin. Click on the number of engaged users. It pops up, and it'll show you the number of people that gave that post what's called negative feedback. Well, basically, that's fans that are hiding, that chose to hide that post in their newsfeed. Again, you might have 5,000 fans, but only 1,000 of them might be hiding your content. And a hidden post, once somebody does that, if they're hiding all your posts, they're as good as a non-fan. It could be that negative feedback also includes spam. That's the only other option in the newsfeed. If you click a button on a piece of content, you can flag it as spam. I don't think that many people are flagging content for fan pages they've signed up for as spam. So Facebook's kind of like obscuring that. What does negative feedback mean? It's hidden in there, but it's gold. It's absolute gold in there. Track. Check those. Want to see what posts get the most hides versus the least hides. The new people talking about number, that includes your reach and your virality. Oh, so much in there in the Facebook metrics. And then there's all kinds of other third-party companies that do a really great job of giving you additional metrics. I actually have a handy Facebook post called an editorial calendar and a metrics tracking spreadsheet. Let me say that again, an editorial calendar, so you're going to plan what you're going to say, and a metrics tracking spreadsheet. I call it Mari's Magic Dashboard. That's easier to say. Mari's Magic Dashboard. It's your Facebook Insights. Is really just often too much overkill. Main thing you want to see is what posts are performing well and get that exact data and fine-tune your results. I'm going to share with you how you can get access to that spreadsheet in a moment. And then here we go. The number one convenient mistake that businesses make that stops fans from ever coming back to their page, guess what it is? It's turning their wall off. Basically what that means is they're setting it that fans can't post. Or alternatively, they could have the default set to page posts only. I really think that sends the wrong message. It's old style push marketing. It's basically what they're saying is, hey, we don't want to hear from you. We only want to hear from you when we've got something to say. I think we have some examples on that, Lori.
Yes, we do. We're going to pull up Mashable.
Excellent. So Mashable, I think, go ahead, Let's show that.
Yep, we've got that up.
And they have their default.
It's set to their wall is on, and there's a lot of activity.
Great. Yeah, their wall's on, but the default, doesn't it go to their posts only, see? You see
Correct.
their posts only, whereas everyone. And then Huffington Post, I think they have their wall off totally. Now, see, the exception is, you can show that, the Huffington Post, their wall's off totally. How many fans, by the way, does Huffington Post have?
529,000.
529,000. Now, see, Huffington Post is a news channel. I think it's actually perfectly okay to have that one-way communication with your fans if you're a news channel and you have your wall off. But still, I just personally think, being a relationship marketing specialist, I'm a big fan of leaving the wall on and having that engagement. Guess what? We got one other example for you. The #1 brand for social media engagement?
It's Starbucks.
Starbucks. And what do they have their wall set to, Lori?
Their wall is on, and
Their
they've
wall
got
is
a
on.
lot going on.
And how many fans?
27.6 million.
27.6 million. Go ahead with that, Michael. Great. So you don't need 27 million fans. You don't need 27,000 fans. I showed you many, many different examples here today to give you kind of an idea of, like, you know, small fan pages, huge fan pages. I think a lot of people get concerned. They're thinking, well, gosh, you know, what can I learn from a major brand? I really think you can actually learn a lot. But the thing is, what if you only had 5,000 genuine fans who were responsive, engaged, love you, they spread that love? If you could create that in 30 days, well, guess what? Here we are. We're going to get to some Q&A in a moment. I just want to tell you a little bit more about my course here. If you've enjoyed hanging out with me, stay right where you are. We've got some Q&A and a special surprise bonuses. And so my course, if you like this format, I'm just going to pick this up and show you. I've got this amazing, amazing, extreme fan base growth. And like I said, if you like this format, this video, chatting here, in addition to Q&A, I haven't really been able to interact with you a lot. I'm not used to this when I'm leading webinars. I'm in a studio right now today, and I'm used to chit-chatting with my fans and my peeps. But guess what? We have an opportunity to hang out together 8 more times. I've put together the most important Facebook course that business owners should invest in for 2012. I want to make sure each and every one of you, I know there's thousands of you that are on the webinar with us here today. It's absolutely amazing. I'm just thrilled and honored by the turnout and for you taking the time. I would love to have the opportunity to work with you directly so you can stay ahead of the curve that many people don't even know is coming. In the course, it includes step-by-step modules of how you can add 5,000 fans, like I say, genuine fans. We've got downloadable cheat sheets, checklists, daily, weekly, monthly actions, a systematic. I think if you have a systematic approach to your social media and your Facebook marketing, really makes a big difference. You can head on over right now to extremefanbasegrowth.com, extremefanbasegrowth.com. There's 8 modules. In fact, I'm going to let you read what's the exact content in each of the 8 modules. I'm just watching the time here, and I want to get to some of your questions. But we really go deep into some of the apps, what apps to add, what ones to not, how to bring in your offline marketing and with your online marketing, how to expand your Facebook base using different channels and really engagement tactics, content, what works, what doesn't, contests, playing within the rules, a whole module on ads. And we start on February 14th. Remember I said earlier, that's the day of love. I picked that on purpose because I really think that you want to be building up how much this whole community, this whole social networking, we're moving from liking to loving. You want your audience to love you. I think like is so 2010. So, okay, we're in 2012 now, and you're going for love. Social love, when your customers love you, they love what you do, it turns into social commerce. It means they're happy customers for life. Now, here's the scoop. Regular 8 sessions, the video training, all the transcripts, video training course is very similar to how we're connecting today. You can get that course today. It's normally $497, $197, 60% off. If you sign up by midnight tonight. That's Pacific time. It's 3 a.m. Eastern, okay? extremefanbasegrowth.com. Go ahead and go there now, extremefanbasegrowth.com. Going to get to your questions in a second here. Also, I have a fast action bonus for those of you I love to reward action. Massive action gets massive results. Take action. I'm actually expecting my biggest ever participation in this landmark course for 2012, and I'm going to give an extra special treat to the first 101 lucky action takers. Sign up before midnight tonight. I got a brand new report for you. It's called my 2012 Instant Social Planning Calendar, designed to address one of the most common questions I get, which is what kinds of content should I be sharing? It's really, really easy, unique guide, shows you how you can generate relevant and current ideas and the snap of a button, the click of a mouse, and just a quick minute or two of research. If you're quick, first 101 people get that report for free, Social Planning Calendar for 2012. Plus, here's the thing, remember I said earlier that one of the most sought after offerings that people love to get from me is a personalized one-on-one critique. It's literally as if you're looking over my shoulder and I'm able to teach you and give you specifics of what you could tweak of what you're doing already. Oh my gosh, I just wish there was enough hours in the day to do that for everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick 3 names, 3 people out of those first 101 fast action takers and give away a personalized social media critique to every one of the 3 lucky winners. Analyze your Facebook page, and that comes with a bonus video. I'm going to give you suggested tweaks and changes and how you can really galvanize your viewers to turn them into raving fans. It's a $500 $500 value for free, first 3 people that I draw at random. Hop over now to Extreme Fan-Based Growth. I think we're almost ready for questions. Register for the course, 60% off. Remember, your first 101, you get this planning calendar, and then the 3 lucky winners. 3, that was 2 fingers, 3 lucky winners. All right, good. And I've gone a little bit over time. I'm going to use the remaining time for Q&A. Hop on over to extremefanbasedgrowth.com. I would love to work with you. We even added, in fact, we added a physical. You can get the physical binder and 8 DVDs and have them home, and I'm paying the shipping and handling for you. It's a small upgrade fee, and you'll see that at extremefanbasedgrowth.com. Let's do some Q&A. Do we have in the remaining few minutes? I know you guys have been pouring questions in, and Lori's been scooping them up for you. Let's go ahead and see what we got.
Okay, Mari, yes, we do have quite a few questions lined up here. The first one is from Neil from Long Island, New York, and he is asking, what happens when I turn on my subscribe button?
Oh my gosh, okay, great question, Neil. And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about this too. And remember I said the subscribe button is optional? And you can get to it, well, it's a little convoluted, but basically how you get to it, how you get to it is you go search on Facebook, decide you're going to enable it, and then what happens, you have to think about this. If you want to make this shift, you can always turn it off if you change your mind. Every piece of content you share on your wall is then going to show up in there, potentially going to show up in the newsfeed of your subscribers. You're basically opening up your profile to allow all 800 million people to sign up and see your public posts in their newsfeed. I think it's brilliant, but it's not for everybody. However, remember I said that I truly believe that having an active and exciting, engaged subscriber base along with the fans, and I teach that all in the course, brilliant, brilliant. If you own your own business, Neil, I'd love to work with you and show you what you can do with your subscribers. Got a few more minutes. Let's quickly grab another question, Lori.
Okay, the next one we have is Kate from Laguna Beach. She noticed that her people talking about this number has gone down a lot. And what can she do about this?
PATP, that magic number. And that includes the likes, comments, shares, tags, responding to events. It's basically everybody interacting with your page. Facebook, because they changed their terms, there was impressions, and then there was feedback percent. And the whole, remember, I really, really want to anchor this point about engagement, how critical it is to have engagement, because that leads to growth. And the things that you can do a lot of, I mean, you might even want to listen. We're going to be sending out the link to the replay of this webinar today, and listen and take lots of notes. If it really speaks to your heart, I would love to work with you. Go ahead and pick up a copy of my course, and I have 21 different ways of how you can grow your fan base through engagement. Let's do one more question, Lori. We're going to squeeze it in.
Okay, we've got Cassidy from London, England, who would like to know how many fan pages should she have?
Oh, numbers of fan pages. You know, I've spoken to a lot of SEO experts out there, and I know that they actually talk about having multiple fan pages for SEO, search engine optimization. Every piece of content you post in your fan page gets indexed on Google. So you could choose to do that. I'm not a big fan of that because it then creates a bit of a moderation headache. You got more time to manage that page. But if you're an author, I know people have a fan page just for their book, things like that. So hope that helps. Anyway, we are just coming on top of our time. Oh my gosh, I wish we had another hour together, but guess what? We've got 8 more sessions to hang out together if it speaks to your heart, and I would love to work with you. This is absolutely extremefanbasegrowth.com. My best work yet. I'm very, very excited about it. I have not had a product out like this ever. It's one of the best investments you can make for 2012. If you're going to be there with me, I'll see you on February 14th. Meanwhile, as Mark Zuckerberg said on the show last night, we are on this journey together, and it is an honor to be here with you. From my heart to yours, I hope we get a chance to work together. Bye for now. Namaste.